So a proposed regulation could force restaurants that use char broil methods to cut their emissions by 75%. As most of you know, char broiling is what gives your burgers, chickens, steaks that extra sizzle, extra crisp and flavor. Businesses would have to install costly tracking devices or alter how they prepare signature dishes. Many restaurant owners say small family-owned eateries will be hit hardest by these kinds of costs. I now want to bring in Alan Rosen. He's the third-generation owner of Junior's Restaurant in Manhattan and Brooklyn for his perspective. Alan, you are fired up, pun intended, about this new rule. Get us up to speed on your thoughts, sir.
Indeed. So thank you for having me. But when I heard about this the other day, I first thought it totally ridiculous that the government or the Department of Environmental Protection is concerned with my hamburger smoke in my 3 restaurants in New York and Brooklyn. You know, they have a lot bigger things going on in the world than to worry about the 875 pounds of meat potentially that we cook in each of our restaurants. It's just laughable.
I mean, you really have people being burned alive on the New York City subway, and you know, not to be insensitive, but it's true.
No,
you know, and they're worried about this right now. What are you hearing from other restaurant owners like yourself?
Listen, a lot of restaurateurs, the smaller ones, are quite honestly afraid to speak out, and that's how it's always been in New York. Because if you speak out, you usually get a finger in the eye. But I'm not afraid to speak out. What you are saying and what I said to the New York Post the other day is people are getting knifed on the subways. We have tons of quality of life issues in New York City, and they're worried about 200 restaurants and hamburgers. This is why people are so upset with government overreach, because it just sounds like they have bigger fish to fry or burgers to cook, and it's literally a nothing burger and should not be on anyone's radar.
So I found it interesting. Part of this new rule says that restaurants that char broil more than 875 pounds of meat per week, you know, would be barred from operating unless they installed these, you know, emission trackers. I'm assuming you grill up more than 875 pounds of meat a week?
We do. Yeah, we serve 10-ounce steak burgers, so it's quite easy for us to get over that threshold. We have very busy restaurants. We're fortunate. But, you know, a lot of the steakhouses, I mean, you can grill a burger on a flat top. I think it stinks, quite honestly. I love the open flame and how I cook for my friends and family, so I want to continue to do that. We'll be over the threshold. But I'm also hopeful that maybe some sanity will come back to our government. And they will say, maybe this is not someplace we should be playing.
Yeah. And let me ask you, you know, how do you plan to fight back? Because I'm guessing grilling up 874 pounds, you know, of meat a week isn't an option for you, your bottom line. How does this change your business, your flavor, your customers?
Well, we're not going to change our cooking methodology. We have recipes dating back 74 years in our restaurants. So none of that's going to change. We're either going to fight, which is our first choice, and voice our opinion strongly. There is a hearing on this January 29th. I plan on showing up. And 2, if we have to fix the exhaust or whatever remedies we have to do that, to keep our recipes and our traditions alive, that's what we're going to do.
Yeah, well,
we're not going away.
New Yorkers are fighters. You know, we all know that. I know you're not going to end it anytime soon. Alan Rosen, would you come back on after you attend the meeting and give us an update?
I would love to give you an update. Thank you so much for having me this morning.
Perfect. Thank you for your time. We'll be following the fight closely.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.